You're listening to A Radio.
Landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is the Morning Moment. We're on weekdays, 11:45 Eastern. Follow us on Spreaker.com and click on the like button. There's an article from Neon Nettle, which I'm going to reference. In it, they claim they know who the whistleblower is. They name the person. Also, there seems to be a number of mentions of contacts between the George Soros organisation Open Society Foundation. Now, the reason I'm not going to read this piece out, that I've read it several times, and I find the piece hard to read, disjointed, and at times, at best, unclear. I have no doubt that there are links in Ukraine to George Soros and the Open Society Foundation. There is clear evidence in this piece that there are nefarious activities going on by the then US ambassador to Ukraine. There is clear evidence, if this is correct, that the ambassador had links, be them directly or indirectly, to the now proven fake dossier produced on President Donald Trump, that a number of State Department officials were working to undermine the president, that clearly there was and still is massive corruption in that country, i.e. Ukraine. And there is no doubt, to me, that anyone who does basic math, for that matter, can have a modicum of independent thought that someone to be on the board of a company with no experience in that field other than that their father was at the time the vice president is clearly at best inappropriate. All of this I find shameful at the very least. I urge you all to read this piece. When I put it up, you will probably have to read it several times, as I say. But what is very clear is that someone has a clear axe to grind against this current president. If a president can't do his job and communicate with leaders of other countries, what is he supposed to do? Maybe that's the purpose of this orchestrated attack on the president, to basically emasculate him, to make him fearful of saying anything to anyone about anything. For them, at the very least, that's the Democrats. This has to be their goal. The Democrats know they have very little chance of removing him from office. But if they can succeed in curtailing his activities on the world stage, they have effectively silenced him, and his comments will be mute at best. And this is more important. Any comment made by any world leader, any communication by any world leader to the President of the United States will be guarded. They will be very wary of talking with him. Why? For fear of any conversation being leaked. That will not only have an effect on the president, but also likely affect that particular nation leader, whoever it happens to be at the time. Let me give you an example. Do you not remember that leaking of a recording between the US president and the Australian Prime Minister? Look at the damage that caused. That example that I've given you of a leaked conversation between the United States President and the Prime Minister of Australia is a clear example, an unambiguous example of the deep state, which is nothing more than Democratic operatives from the Democrat Party interfering with a duly elected president because their person didn't win. And that's not right. No, what's not right is that you are not representing your country. If you don't believe in the president that you are working for, then resign. Have the decency to resign rather than trying to undermine him. Work towards the next election and beat them then. But to do underhanded activities to try and remove a duly elected president is not the way to carry on in a democratic country. And they know it. And they know it because they know they can't win in the conventional manner. So they have to resort to underhanded methods, such as vote rigging in California, such as vote tampering in Illinois, etc., etc., etc. Oh, and gerrymandering districts, and trying to stop voter ID. Ask yourself this: why would anybody want to stop voter ID so that only the right people could vote, i.e. citizens who were entitled to vote, not illegal aliens? Why would anybody have anything against that? The final result of this will always be unintended consequences, because Democrats can't see beyond their vitriol. The future for Democrats in America in the short term is, quite honestly, bleak. I wish that was the case in Canada, but it's not. They will bounce back, and they will, unfortunately, at some point win the presidency. And when that day comes, it will be their turn to feel the heat. And no matter how much the deep state think they can protect that president and control it, the people and that party's opposition will demand retribution. And retribution is what they will have. There will be an impeachment of yet another president for nothing. But this time it will be a Democrat one. And the media will have no clue why. But this time they will impeach and they will remove that president from office. So I say, be careful what you wish for, because you may just get it. You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab, Spotify, and email. We're on Spotify under the podcast section. Type in Canadian Politics with a twist and you'll find us. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass these links on to your friends. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all our morning moments at Spreaker.com/A-Radio, EHRADIO, A-Radio. And please click on the like button. Join us Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 11:45 Eastern, and tell your friends and pass the word. We only tell the truth, not what the mainstream media want you to know.